Hello and welcome to Flippin' Awesome. I'm Mindy and today I'm going to show you how to make sauerkraut that's naturally fermented just using salt and of course you got to have the cabbage. So here we go. Okay, we start off with the nice head of cabbage. You want to cut off any parts that may be bad, but ideally you want to start off with a nice fresh head of cabbage. And once you get it all nice and clean, you just slice it very thinly, minus the bottom core. So, so this is what you're kind of looking at right here. Just thin little shavings is what you want. Okay, I have the cabbage cut up, and actually I'm going to do 3 heads of cabbage. This was a small head. So towards the end of the video, when you see like a big bowl of sauerkraut, know that it's from 3 heads of cabbage, not just this one little head that I cut up. So anyways, what you want to do is after it's all sliced up thinly, you want to make sure you put it in a non-reactive bowl. Like a plastic bowl, glass bowl, no metal bowls. Don't want to use metal. And what you want to use next is your salt. And you always want to use an unrefined salt. I like to use the Celtic sea salt. It's like a gray salt. And it even says right on there, unrefined. Another salt that I like to use is, of course, the pink salt. You know, you can find this pretty much anywhere. So I think today I am going to use a little bit of pink. Now, how much salt do you use? Hard to say, hard to say. You know, it's what you want to do is sprinkle some salt on as if you were like seasoning. Season it to taste. That's probably enough right there. And you want to mix it all in. And then after it's mixed in, let it sit for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, because the salt will start to break down the fibers of the cabbage. And yeah, so you can do a little squeeze here and there, but yeah, just mix the salt in, and I'll see you back in about 15 minutes or so. Okay, we're back. It's been about, I think about 20 minutes since I've let this sit. So you can tell that it's starting to break down. It's wilty. And what we want to do at this point is just play with it. You know, you want to mash it, mix it a little more. Mix it up. Mix it, mix it, mix it. Mix it. And if you do drop any on the floor, do know your dogs will not eat it. Or at least mine won't. They don't like it. All right. Then also what you want to do is, now would be a really good time to do a taste test. You can either do it like when you first add the salt, but I like to wait until like this stage. I get a better gauge of how much salt is in there. So we want to just go ahead and give it a taste test. Nailed it. Now what you're looking for when you do the taste test is you want it to be pleasantly salty. You don't want it salty. And so yeah, just pleasantly salty, like, you know, like if you just cooked it up and you just salted it to taste. I guess that's the best way to put it. And if you don't taste any salt at all on it, or barely any salt, add a little bit more salt to it at this point. I'd show you that, but like I said, this is perfectly seasoned, you know, so I'm not going to add any more to it. And so after we play with it a little bit more and mash it and squish it, we're going to let it sit off on the side for about another 15-20 minutes. Okay, yep. That is good. We're going to go ahead and let that sit for another 15-20 minutes. Okay, we're back. And you can tell it's getting even more limp. That's what we want. Now this time around, let's just really go for it. Let's really like mash it and work with it. And you can give it another taste test if you like, just to make sure that it's a little salty, but not too salty. You know, you want it to still taste good. Okay, now I've been messing with this for a couple minutes, and what you want is, I don't know if you can see in there. Yeah, see all that liquid? Okay, that's all the salt water, and the water came from the moisture that was inside the cabbage. Now we want to keep messing with this until we have enough moisture that basically when you go to pack your jars, you'll have the liquid coming up above the cabbage. So I think this is going to be pretty good. So the next step is to pack the jars. Okay, I'm going to be using this nice big pickle jar that I picked up. I just thought it was cute, and I thought it'd be perfect for my sauerkraut that I make. So when we go to pack, now we'll go ahead and throw our cabbage in. And you do not have to sterilize your jars. In fact, it's ideal if you do not sterilize, because whatever bacteria is left inside your jars will help to do something with the fermenting. I'm not sure what, but that's what I've been told. So that's what I do. I know you want to make sure your jars are clean, but they don't have to be sterilized. You want to pour your salt juice in there. And then you want to pack it. Now, I usually end up using like the core to help pack it. You just want to press it down, get any air bubbles out. And then I have more cabbage to put in here, so I'll show you after it's all packed. I have my jar packed. Again, you want to pack it as you go, and this is what it kind of looks like right now. And you can see there's liquid on the top. So now what we need to do is make sure all that cabbage stays below water level. And so you want at least anywhere from like 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch of liquid on top. If you have a really nice fresh cabbage, you'll get plenty of liquid from the process that we just did. In order to keep your cabbage under the water, you need to put something on top of it. I am using, this jar is large enough, so I'm going to use a lid to a coffee can that I just happen to have. So this is going to be a little tricky, but you want to get that in. I know it fit before I put the cabbage in. All right, get it in there. Ah, yeah, check this out. Okay. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing right there. Okay, and I'm going to give it another push just to make sure that cabbage is down below. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to get rid of some of these floaties. Floaties. That's what I call floaties. Okay. And then to help assist our lid to stay below water, we're going to put another jar on top of this. We want to keep this open and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, what I'm going to use is just another jar, and I filled it with water, and I'm going to just set that right on top of the plastic lid that's in there, and that will hold the cabbage down while it's fermenting. Now you also want to make sure that you leave some head space. Okay, and here's a side view. Okay, you can see where the cabbage is at. There's, I'd say there's at least about a ½ inch. It looks a little bit more, but there's about a ½ inch of liquid above. You can see my lid in there, and a jar or some type of heavy weight that's going to hold your lid down and keep everything below water level. Okay, it's pretty much set to go, and what we're going to do is you'll want to put your jar into a secondary container just in case when it does start fermenting. Sometimes the fluid will come over and you don't want it all over your countertop or wherever you're setting it. So I like to do a little secondary container just in case it overspills. So what you want to do is you want to put it in an area that will be left undisturbed, and you want to give it a cover, something like this. And I like to tuck in my towel into the secondary container. Again, if it does overspill, you want everything to go inside the container here. And now we just set it off to the side and check on it every 2 to 3 days and give it a taste and go from there. Hello and welcome back. It's been about a day or two, so now I am going to check the sauerkraut to see how it's doing and to make sure that the kraut is still underneath the water level of the saline that was made from the salt and the cabbage. So here we go. Let's check it out and see what's going on. Okay, we'll start by just removing the towel. And we can see that the water level is still above the cabbage. Now it's getting some like fermenty stuff here, which, I mean, that's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Everything's in place. It's all good. What we can do is we can remove this using like a plastic spoon. So let's go ahead and do that. You can see it fermenting still. Oh, that's a cool thing. Seeing it bubbling up over here. It's like magic. Okay, let's put that back in. And then you can also give it a little press. Yeah, like so that little bit of scum ain't gonna hurt anything. And sometimes you may even get a little bit of mold. As long as it's a white, green type mold, just scoop it out. It's that's okay. Now if you start getting black mold, I'd probably throw it out. Something's not right. But so anyways, that's that. And then what we'll do is we'll throw the towel back over it and just let it keep fermenting. Now I ended up getting some extra kraut that did not fit in the jar, and that's these right here. And what I did is I cut some thin plastic to put inside to help press it down, and I used some just Ziploc baggies with some beans. You can use rocks or anything that's heavy, that's clean, and to hold your cabbage down below the water level. And then we'll check on it again in another day or two. Hello, it's day number 15, and I've been checking my cabbage about every 2-3 days, making sure that it's submerged. And I do believe it's ready. I've tasted it actually I think it was like 4 days ago. And I didn't really think it was ready yet. So let's go ahead and check it today. There we go. All right. What I did too is in my plastic lid, I put a little cut marks so I can pull it out easier. All right. So definitely give it a little taste test. That's definitely sauerkraut. Wiping my hands off. Okay, sauerkraut is done. I'm liking it. So at this point, you want to go ahead and put it in the refrigerator, or share it, or put it in smaller jars if you use the big jar. And what I like to do is, now my lid for this is metal, it's a tin. Now the salt in this will corrode your tin lids. So I will go ahead and put a little film over my jar, and then I'll go ahead and put the lid on. God, that was good. I'm gonna have more in a little bit here. And there you have it. Enjoy it. It's really good. And if you like my content, please subscribe down below, and I will be posting more stuff. And thanks for watching Flippin' Awesome. Again, I'm Mindy, and have a wonderful, awesome day.